Good evening and welcome. Tonight we'll be going over the very brief history and geography of Casanare in Colombia. Let's start by zooming out so you can see exactly where we are in the world. Here's the Casanare department. You can see that we're just a hop, skip, and a jump away from Bogota. And Medellin's over there. We already talked about Tuña over there. We've actually covered a lot of Colombia. I'm going to put my Colombia playlist up there because I love Colombia. I think it's one of the things that I've picked up from this channel is a love for this country. It is so underrated in its natural beauty. It's fantastic. I'm obsessed with Colombia now. But let me show you exactly where we are in the world. So here is Colombia with a Pacific and Caribbean coast. We already covered Barranquilla up here and Cartagena. Bordering Panama, Venezuela, Brazil, Peru, and Ecuador. So I'm going to read to you some geography facts about Colombia later in the video, so we'll discuss that again. But you can see from above up here, we are right smack dab in this brownish area here. It looks very brown from above, doesn't it? You can see the bright green Amazon rainforest down here. You can see the big mountain ranges of the Andes cutting through here. And there's just this stretch right here. So what is this? What is happening here that we are in the middle of? This is known as the Llanos. For my Americans out there, I feel like the equivalent for the Llanos in the United States is like the Great Plains area. There's not much there. There's not much there at all. It is farmland. The Llanos is where you can find the llaneros, which are the cowboys of Colombia. I guess it's more like Texas, but like North Texas, or I guess also South Texas. Any rural part of Texas, there's like nothing there. This landscape is so pretty from above because you can see all of these rivers coming down from the mountains here, flowing into and out of the much larger rivers here and creating this very wet-looking area. I love these streaks you can see from above. It reminds me of, let me show you. I know I've shown this a lot, but I'm like obsessed with it. This part of Siberia, where you see these streaks, do you see? Just like pew, pew across the land. There's a couple places in the world like that, and Casanare is one of them apparently. Where it's, I'm sure if you were down here, you wouldn't notice, but from above it just looks like God just took his finger paints and went pew, like that. It's pretty neat. But yeah, it looks very wet and marshy here, but that's actually because this was all cleared land. It was once very forested. You can see little patches here and there of where it's still quite green around the rivers. But it was all cleared to make way for ranches, and farming, and agrarian style industries like that. So all these little towns here really don't have much to see. So Casanare is really like the heartland of that Llanos style lifestyle, I suppose. Yopal is the capital. I also watched a video where everything was pronounced completely differently. The guy said Chopal. So maybe there's an accent here, I'm not sure. So Colombians out there, I know you're out there. My Colombian viewers, where are you at? Sound off in the comments. Let me know if things are pronounced differently here. Because I know like Medellin, that's not how you say that in Spanish, but that's how you pronounce it. So I wonder if that's true here too, if this is Chopal, but I'm going to say Yopal. this is the capital. You can see it's not a massive city, is it? But it's the biggest one here. There's a museum over here. Histórico del Oriente. Let's see if they got anything good. They've got some traditional clothes here. Love the skirt. It's definitely a party outfit of some kind. Looks like more typical clothes over here. And it looks very country, doesn't it? It looks very like settler. I wonder if this is like through history. It must be. Like that's old-timey, becoming more and more modern. There's some soldiers there guarding that. Lots of stuff about the indigenous culture, which I really didn't find any information about. I see some soldier uniforms there. There's Simon. He incorporated the Llaneros in his fight for independence from the Spanish in Gran Colombia, which is what Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, and Panama was once known as. This guy's explaining some history here. Cultura llanera. Looks like, I don't know this Spanish, but that looks like bird weaver nests. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. And some military history as well by the looks of it. Apparently the biggest sight to see in this town is this up here. As you can see, it's quite mountainous up here. So you climb up the mountains and you see this huge Virgin Mary. Very white, and that I think is because they project, well, that's pretty. Nice little seat there. Let's see if we can find some photos of it here. Dum 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 dum. It's in the daytime. Let me see. Okay, that's not the slideshow I looked at then. They'll project like lights onto her and make her light up. It's really pretty. I don't know what happened to the slideshow that I saw. I do not know. Let's see what this is. Oh, look, some capybaras there. Oh, I did see this when I was researching. I was wondering where this was. Lots of wood carvings of animals and some historical people. And maybe biblical people as well. Maybe some old legends there. Ooh, that's a little spooky. Some birds. A big face. Very indigenous looking. Some wings and the colors of the Colombian flag. I'll show you something that I found here on Google Earth. If I can remember where it is. My goodness, it was in the middle of nowhere. Let me put the borders back up. It was down, goodness, down here somewhere. Because I was like, surely along this road I'll find some things to look at. Because there's really not a lot of slideshows. There's slideshows of the various fincas and hotels and ranches you can stay at if you want to experience that llanero lifestyle. But I wonder if I'm going to find it. Let me see the cascadas. Oh, I'll show you this too in a minute. Only because I tapped this because we're going to two regions, both called Cascade, coming up after this. Beautiful waterfall. So someone decided to build Noah's Ark here. Dun dun. Along with some pyramids and the Sphinx. Definitely some kind of tourist something or other. Like got a swimming pool over here. Two of each animal there. There's, I guess, Noah and his wife welcoming you to the Ark. Some giant horses about to crush this tiny child. He's climbing up into this big chariot. It's like, I don't know what in the world. Oh, I see. It's not a swimming pool. It's the water around the Ark. I don't know why. Oh, there's a mummy. Oh, this is clearly some kind of big turtle. Oh, no, it is water. You can swim in it. That's cool. They got two of each animal. There's Jesus there. Tortugas are right there. Yeah, clearly for some reason, I wonder if they're making a good profit off of whatever it was they built there. It looks like people have fun there. Where did I find? I don't know if I'm going to find it. When I say that, it's going to pop right up. There's the Ark over there. There's all the fincas, which is basically a ranch / hotel where you can experience what it's really like there, you know. There's somewhere down here. But anyway, that's pretty much all that I've got for you. These towns, Yopal was built in I read 2 different sources. One that said the 1910s, one said the 1930s. So at some point in the early 20th century, this town was founded. But, yeah, I wonder if I'm going to find it. I don't know. It said ruinas, which means ruins. So I'm like, oh, cool, maybe something indigenous. And then I tapped on it, and it definitely was not. It was a big burned out church. So I assume there was only 2 or 3 pictures for it. So if I don't find it, that's not a huge crisis. You can see Eco Park, Agroecologica, lots of places for tourists. I tried to Google this burned out church, right? And all I found was facts saying that it existed. So I assume it was probably an encomienda, a mission, like we say in California, where they built it to convert people and to make them work for them. And I bet you the people there burned it down. At least that's what I hope. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to find it. That's too bad. But yeah, it was an old burned out church. Somewhere around here. But anyway, as you can see, it's all farmland. So I literally found no history here other than it exists. It's here. But I can't not talk about this place, right? It's Colombia. I love some Colombia. We're going to go to Cauca pretty soon, so we'll have a lot more to talk about there. So what I'm going to do for the rest of the video is get out a book for you about Colombia, and we'll read the geography chapters. There's 2 chapters, one about the geography, one about the flora and fauna of Colombia. Because I'll talk about Colombia all day. Ask my family. You get me on the topic of paramos, I won't stop. So I'll read that for you, just so there's something in this video. I can't show you Colombia and be like, yep, it's here. I gotta talk about Colombia. So I have that for you. I'll have the same thing for you tomorrow. We're going to the Seychelles. Divisions of the Seychelles are very tiny. I'll read some facts about the Seychelles for you tomorrow. So look forward to that. Be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Sound off, my Colombian viewers. I always love to hear from you. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational. And I hope that you have a good night. I wonder if maybe it was this slideshow where I saw her all lit up. Nope. Darn. But anyway, good night. Good night. Enjoy the facts. Good night, good night, good night, good night, good night, good night. Colombia. Let's read these first chapters about Colombia. Starting with natural wonders. Okay, make sure that you can see. Perfect. The Republic of Colombia lies in the northwestern corner of South America. It covers 439,736 square miles, or 1,138,911 square kilometers, about twice the size of the state of Texas. Colombia Colombia is South America's fourth largest country after Brazil, Argentina, and Peru. It was named after the explorer Christopher Columbus. Colombia shares borders with Venezuela to the northeast, Brazil to the east and southeast, Peru to the south, and Ecuador to the southwest. In the northwest, Colombia borders the Central American nation of Panama. The Isthmus of Panama is a narrow strip of land that connects Central and South America. Colombia also borders on two major bodies of water, the Pacific Ocean in the west and the Caribbean Sea in the north. Colombia has four major geographic zones. They are the Andes Mountains, the Caribbean and Pacific lowlands, the eastern Llanos Plains, and the Amazon region in the south. Can't really see the Llanos here. The Andes Mountains. The Andes Mountains stretch roughly 5,500 miles, or 8,900 kilometers, extending the length of South America. They run from the southern tip of the continent to the northernmost coast of Venezuela. In Colombia, the Andes occupy the entire length of the country's west coast. Three mountain ranges, or cordilleras, make up the Andes Mountains in Colombia. These three cordilleras cover about one-third of Colombia's total land area. The Cordillera Oriental is the most easterly and the largest of Colombia's mountain ranges. The Cordillera Oriental curves sharply to the northwest as it nears Colombia's border with Venezuela. The highest point in the range is Ritacuba Blanco at 17,745 feet, or 5,410 meters. It rises among the snow-capped peaks of El Cucuy National Park in the north. The capital city of Bogota stands on a high plateau in the middle of the Cordillera Oriental at 8,602 feet, or 2,625 meters above sea level. The Santa Marta Range, a detached section of the Cordillera Oriental, lies on the Caribbean coast. It includes Colombia's highest point, Cristobal Colon, which is Spanish for Christopher Columbus, which reaches 18,946 feet, or 5,775 meters above sea level. On the northern side of the Santa Marta Range is the Guajira Peninsula. This desert region is split between Colombia and Venezuela. The Cordillera Central lies next to the Cordillera Oriental and begins at Colombia's border with Ecuador. This range includes several volcanoes, including the 14,028 foot or 4,276 meter Caleras, which last erupted in 2010. As of the printing of this book, I don't know if it's erupted since. The highest peak in the Cordillera Central is the volcano Mount Huila, which rises to 18,865 feet, or 5,750 meters. The second highest peak is the volcanic Mount Ruiz at 17,425 feet, or 5,311 meters. Still making sure that everything's in frame. Okay. In 1985, it erupted, melting about 10% of its ice cap. The melting caused a mud flow that carried millions of tons of slush and volcanic material over the town of Armero and a nearby village. More than 25,000 people were killed in this natural disaster, the deadliest in Colombia's history. or 4,250 meters. The city of Cali, sitting 3,280 feet, or 1,000 meters above sea level, lies just to the east of the range. The Caribbean lowlands. The Caribbean lowlands cover northern Colombia, from the border with Panama to the Guajira Peninsula in the east. The lowlands form roughly a triangular shape, with the longest side being the Caribbean coast. Swamps, streams, and small lakes dot the region, which features many banana and cotton plantations. A lush rainforest in the Darien region near Panama has one of the highest levels of plant and animal diversity in the world. The Pacific lowlands. The Pacific lowlands lie between the Pacific Ocean and the Cordillera Occidental. The northern part of this region is called the Chocó. In the northeast, the Pacific lowlands reach all the way to the Gulf of Darien, the southern part of the Caribbean Sea that lies east of Panama and north of Colombia. From there, the lowlands stretch for roughly 500 miles or 800 kilometers southward along the Pacific coast. This narrow coastal region is filled with lagoons, thick rainforests, and salty swamplands. The rainforests of the Pacific lowlands are home to abundant mammals, birds, butterflies, insects, reptiles, and amphibians. An average of 354 inches or 899 centimeters of rain falls in Quito, the capital of this region, every year, making the Chocó one of the wettest places on Earth. The heavy rains produce fast-moving rapids in the rivers that flow from the Cordillera Occidental to the Pacific Ocean. But the largest river in the Chocó, the Atrato, does not flow into the Pacific. Instead, it flows northward, emptying into the Gulf of Urabá, a narrow inlet at the southern end of the Gulf of Darien. The Atrato Valley separates the Baudo Mountains from the Cordillera Occidental. These lower mountains, which rise to about 5,900 feet or 1,800 meters near the Isthmus of Panama, are covered with dense forests. The Llanos. The Llanos are vast flat plains that stretch across the northern part of eastern Colombia. The Llanos cover an area of 220,000 square miles or 570,000 square kilometers, about 70% of the land in Colombia, but they are home to less than 3% of the nation's total population. A small branch of the Andes called the Macarena Mountains rises in the western part of the Llanos. Many rivers cross the Llanos, including the Orinoco, one of South America's largest rivers, which forms part of the border between Colombia and Venezuela. Today, the Llanos are Colombia's main oil-producing region. That's what I forgot to say. I knew I was forgetting something. I forgot to talk about the oil processing happening there. So that's also part of Casanare. Anyway, cattle raising is also an important economic activity in this area. The southern portion of eastern Colombia includes part of the mighty Amazon River. In total, the river runs for roughly 4,300 miles or 6,900 kilometers, making it the world's second longest river after the Nile in Africa. The Amazon River accounts for about 50 miles or 80 kilometers of Colombia's border with Peru. Many rivers that flow into the Amazon begin in the Cordillera Oriental. Tropical rainforest covers most of Colombia's Amazonian region. Few people are skilled at making medicine from rainforest plants. Rivers and lakes. The Magdalena River, which flows in between the Cordillera Central and the Cordillera Oriental, is the longest river in Colombia. It rises in southwestern Colombia and runs for 968 miles, or 1,558 kilometers, before reaching the Caribbean Sea. The Magdalena's River Basin, the area that drains into the Magdalena, covers about 24% of Colombia. 4 of the country's largest cities, Bogota, Medellin, Cali, and Barranquilla, are located in the Magdalena's River Basin, and roughly 75% of the country's population lives in this region. Since before Europeans arrived in South America, the Magdalena has served as a vital route for moving people and goods from the interior of South America to coastal regions. The Cauca River lies between the Cordillera Occidental and the Cordillera Central. It rises near Popayan in southwestern Colombia and runs for 838 miles, or 1,350 kilometers, before it joins the Magdalena River at Macangüe. Industrial waste produced in Popayan and by gold mines and coal mines in the countryside have polluted the river. In some places, the pollution is so bad that the river is unable to support plant or animal life. Several large rivers in eastern Colombia provide the main mode of transportation in that region. The Ariari and Guaviare rivers separate the Llanos in the north from the Amazon region in the south. The Guaviare and rivers to its north, including the Meta and Arauca, drain into the Orinoco River. The rivers south of the Guaviare, including the Vaupés, Caqueta, and Putumayo, flow into the Amazon. Lake Tota is the largest lake in Colombia, with a surface area of 21 square miles, or 54 square kilometers. It is located just north of Bogota. Lake Tota is the source of the Upia River, which flows eastward into the basin of the Orinoco River. Aquitania is the largest town on the lake, lying on the eastern shore. Islands. Many islands are part of Colombia. The largest are San Andres and Providencia, which are part of a chain of islands in the Caribbean Sea, about 470 miles, or 760 kilometers northwest of Barranquilla. In the 17th century, English pirates attacking Spanish ships used the islands as a base of operations. The smaller Rosario Islands near the city of Cartagena on the Caribbean coast are a national park. The park was established to protect one of the coastline's coral reefs and the plants and sea life that live there. Most of the Pacific Coast islands are small and not far from the shore of Colombia. Gorgona Island lies about 22 miles, or 35 kilometers off the coast. Once used as a prison, today it is a national park that protects many unusual species such as the blue anole, a type of lizard that is entirely blue. Cute. Malpelo Island is a small island located 310 miles, or 500 kilometers off the port of Buenaventura. Except for a Colombian military outpost, the island is uninhabited. A small nature reserve is home to protected plant and wildlife species. Malpelo is a popular shark diving destination. Visitors come to see the large populations of hammerhead and silky sharks that
elevations get higher. The country is divided into 3 climatic zones. Elevations below 3,000 feet or 900 meters are known as Tierra Caliente, or the hot zone. Annual average temperatures there run between 75 degrees Fahrenheit or 24 degrees Celsius and 81 degrees Fahrenheit or 27 degrees Celsius. About 86% of Colombia's total area lies in the hot zone. Elevations of 3,000 to 6,500 feet or 900 to 2,000 meters are the Tierra Templada, or the temperate zone. Temperatures there are often between 65 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit or 18 to 24 degrees Celsius. Above that lies the Tierra Fria, the cold zone. This includes cities such as Bogota, which has an annual average temperature of 57 degrees Fahrenheit or 14 degrees Celsius. Let's wait for this airplane to fly by before I read more. Okay, to continue. The temperate and cold zones together make up 14% of the country's land, but the majority of the people in Colombia live there. In the highest mountain reaches above 10,000 feet or 3,000 meters, frigid temperatures of 1.5 to 9 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 17 to negative 13 degrees Celsius are common. Many of Colombia's peaks above 15,000 feet or 4,600 meters are covered with ice and snow year-round. Rainfall is heaviest in the Pacific lowlands and in the Amazon forests in eastern Colombia. In some parts of the lowlands, rainfall can reach 300 inches or 760 centimeters annually. Some regions of the Chocó receive as much as 400 inches or 1,000 centimeters per year. The Guajira Peninsula is the driest place in Colombia. It receives an annual rainfall of about only 10 inches or 25 centimeters. Magnificent wildlife. Look at the sweet sloth there. Making sure we're still in frame. Yep, good enough. Okay. Few places on Earth can rival Colombia's amazing variety of plant and animal life. Although Colombia covers only 1% of the planet's surface, it is home to 14% of the world's known species. The nation is home to 35,000 plant species, more than 600 amphibian species, and 475 species of reptile. About 450 species of mammals live in Colombia, as well as 1,800 species of birds. This accounts for almost 20% of all the bird species in the world. 1/3 of the country's plant species and 12% of its animal species are endemic, meaning they live in Colombia and nowhere else. In the Paramos. Regions called Paramos lie in the highest reaches of the Andes Mountains. The Paramos are blanketed in continuous rain, fog, and misty clouds. Small lakes, swamps, and ravines dot the landscape. Though generally cold and humid, Paramos often experience sudden changes in temperature. Temperatures can vary from below freezing to highs of 86 degrees Fahrenheit or 30 degrees Celsius. Look at the Paramo. I'm so obsessed with them. Someday I'm going to visit one. Someday I'll get to go to Colombia and see this for myself. Short trees such as the mortiño and the pagoda have adapted to survive the extreme conditions at these high elevations. Mosses, grasses, and hardy shrubs grow well in marshy areas. Several species of shrubs called frailejones, or tall friars, grow in the Paramos. The trunks of these unique shrubs are thick and have fuzz-covered leaves that protect against the cold. The frailejones flowers are yellow and look like daisies. Wildlife in the Paramos include Andean foxes, guinea pigs, red opossums, and white-tailed deer. Birds that frequent the Paramos include Andean condors, you see here, turkey buzzards, hawks, and falcons. Insects such as grasshoppers and beetles, and mollusks such as snails and slugs are also found in the Paramos. One of the most unusual creatures found in the Paramos is an earthworm that grows to almost 5 feet or 1.5 meters long. That's weird. That's a long worm. Andean highlands. The lower slopes of the Andes are a mix of wet forests and open grasslands. As the human population has grown through the centuries, the area that has been cleared for agriculture has grown. The Colombian government is trying to preserve what remains of the country's diverse wildlife and delicate ecosystems. Today, 56 national parks, preserves, and sanctuaries are spread throughout the country. Many of them are located in the mountains. Chincasa National Park is located in the Cordillera Oriental. It is estimated that more than 2,000 different species of plants can be found in the park. The park is home to many types of birds, including Andean condors, turkeys, and toucans. So cute. Spectacled bear, deer, monkeys, and jaguars roam the lower reaches of the park. Las Hermosas National Park is located in the highest elevations of the Cordillera Central. The Magdalena and the Cauca rivers border the park. Las Hermosas' 387 lakes are home to a wide variety of algae that provide food to many kinds of fish, including trout. Plants that grow in the cold rainforests include encino trees, which contain chemicals that are used to cure leather and color it red. A type of alder tree is the main plant that grows along streams. The park is home to a wide variety of birds, including the scaly-naped parrot, the band-tailed pigeon, the red-backed hawk, and several species of hummingbirds. Pumas, weasels, rabbits, and small tailless rodents called cavies are also found in the park. Most regions in the Colombian Andes are green and colorful with plant life, but a few areas are desert-like. The Tatacoa Desert in the upper Magdalena River Valley is an area of dry canyons and weathered rock. Cactuses and hardy shrubs are the only plants that can survive the high temperatures and lack of rainfall. Rodents, spiders, snakes, and eagles live in the desert. The Santa Marta Mountains. One of the most biologically diverse regions in Colombia is the Santa Marta Range. This isolated mountain range is home to several ecosystems, including tropical rainforests, shrubland, and paramos. The rainforest is thick with trees that often grow as tall as 130 feet or 40 meters. More than 3,000 species of plants live in the Santa Marta Mountains. Some plants, such as moss and ferns, grow on the trees. Long-stemmed woody vines also grow up the trees. The vines use the trees as support to climb to the top of the forest in order to reach sunlight. Many brightly colored birds live in these mountains, including parakeets, warblers, hummingbirds, and trogons. About 630 species of birds have bears, armadillos, and anteaters. One of the most unusual creatures found here is the tapir. This large mammal is shaped like a pig, but is related to the horse and the rhinoceros. Tayrona National Park, on the northern edge of the range, protects about 108 species of mammals and 300 species of birds. More than 70 species of bats also reside there. The park's wide, sandy beaches are nesting sites for green sea turtles. Rainforests. Colombia's abundant and lush rainforests are home to an incredible variety of life. Birds such as toucans and macaws are found in many areas. Spider monkeys, sloths, howler monkeys, and capuchins live in the trees of the forest. They feed upon seeds, leaves, and fruits. Animals such as mice, paca, poison dart frogs, and giant anteaters roam the forest floor. Many species thrive in and around the rivers in the rainforest. The capybara, the largest rodent on Earth, lives along the banks of the Amazon and its tributaries. An excellent swimmer, it grows to about 4 feet or 1.2 meters long and can weigh 100 pounds or 45 kilograms. The giant river otter, the world's largest otter, feeds on small reptiles and fish. Electric eels and giant catfish are commonly found in the rainforests in the water. Amazonian manatees thrive in the Amazonian river system. They are wrinkled, almost hairless water mammals that can reach 9 feet or 3 meters long and weigh up to 1,200 pounds or 540 kilograms. Birds such as storks, egrets, and herons live along lagoons and shallow pools of water. The Llanos. The Llanos plains cover much of Colombia. The land is covered by a mixture of dry grasslands and forests. Many rivers cut through these grasslands, causing floods in parts of the Llanos during the rainy season. This makes it a magnificent wetland region that supports abundant wildlife. More than 700 species of birds have been seen there. This is as many as are in the entire United States. These include water birds such as scarlet ibises, sandpipers, and yellowlegs. The Llanos also shelter endangered species such as the giant armadillo, so cute, and the Orinoco turtle. The world's most endangered reptile also lives in the Llanos. The Orinoco crocodile grows up to about 17 feet or 5 meters long. It was widely hunted in the 19th and 20th centuries, and today fewer than 1,500 of these creatures survive. Make sure that's, yep. Yeah, that's the end. Okay. Thank you for watching. If you liked this, I do this a lot for my channel members, exclusive videos just for them. So if you like me reading stuff out of these library books, you can join my channel membership. Did you just hear my stomach just now? Holy moly. Also, I can tell that airplane is circling the airport. It's so quiet outside. It is 1 in the morning that I can hear it at this very far away airport. It's so quiet outside. But it's bugging me. Airplanes are a menace, aren't they? But that's it for tonight. Thank you for watching. Have a good